Hi, this is Lisa Bowles, the Soul Mapper, and you're watching Soul Map TV. When we first published the first few webisodes of Soul Map TV, got lots of great feedback. Thank you very, very much. It's good to hear you, because this really is about you, for you, so keep the feedback coming. It helps us make the show better, and you probably have already guessed we're experimenting a little bit. As you'll hear me say a lot, businesses constructed, based on, founded on, and driven by purpose are really experimentation based. Feel a little this way, feel a little that way, get some feedback, carry on. One of the pieces of feedback we got was more questions than anything else, and a few. So I thought we could talk about that one set of questions, because it might help you better understand why we're doing some of what we're doing here. So a couple of you said, love the tabletop game. Ta-da. And in particular, this little guy. I'll tell you why they're here in just a second. But I also wanted to let you know that some people were like, why? There was a little less love involved. So I wanted to explain why they were here, and then let you know we're going to experiment and take them away so that when you see the next episodes without the tabletop gang, you'll know why, okay? So first, these guys actually sit on my desk. They are my day in, day out regular touchstones. Okay, and I'm going to talk about the power of touchstones in just a second. So this is less a case of inserting something to, for the sake of shooting the show, and more a case of me having present what I tend to have present all day, every day, because it helps me touch in with what I want or need to be connected to while I'm doing what I do. And you may find using touchstones really useful for you too. One of the big foundational pieces, and you'll hear me talk about this in an upcoming webisode because we're going to explore it more deeply, that where you're coming from while you're doing what you're doing is probably 60 to 75% of what you're up to. And when you're trying something new, when you're stretching, when you're evolving, when you're on the edge and a little nervous, or you just want to remind yourself to be present to the fact that state counts. Having touchstones, visible prompts that help you remember what state you want to be living from while you're doing can be hugely powerful, especially when you're busy in the thinking of building a business and doing all kinds of things you've never done before. They're check-ins, they're visual reminders that the foundation of beingness or state is important. One of the things I want to be in touch with while I'm doing what I'm doing is the remembrance that I'm really up to two things. One, coming from a place of equanimity as much as I can. And to me, equanimity means no matter what is going on, I'm able to stay fairly level. Because then I can be more resourceful. If I'm reactive or reflexive, I can't be responsive, nor can I be creative, resourceful. I fall into old habits, old patterns of unconscious behavior, and I can't build or serve very well when I'm there. So Buddha helps me remember that I want to come from equanimity. And every time I look at him, I'm reminded to check in and come back to whatever helps me anchor. The second is that Buddha helps me remember that the main reason why I do what I do is to alleviate a certain kind of suffering so we're able to live more free in the world. You know, Buddha's message to me is primarily liberation. And so every day when I look at this particular touchstone, I'm reminded that I'm here to liberate so that you can be what you already are. Not become something, not transform into something, but be a liberated you, okay? So that's touchstone number one. And I like the fact that he's a little chubby and happy, you know, it's like me. Second, while, this Zen thing's going on, I have a disciplined wild one here. Animal is my favorite Muppet Show character. In fact, it took me years to find it, and I didn't actually. My daughter found him for me. And I have him sitting next to Buddha because while we want to be devoted to the practices that help us retain whatever, state of equanimity and remembrance we want to live in, I also want to remind myself that I need to be a little wild. I don't want to be like everyone else. I have to remind myself that while I want to be disciplined, I also want to be wild, untamed, undomesticated, so to speak. When I put these two touchstones together, the joint vibe reminds me of the state I want to be in as I serve, of the state I want to be in as I think about providing something that is me, but comes from the place of service I want to come from. Does that make sense? If you were to put touchstones in your space to help you remember what state you want to come from as you're doing what you're doing, stretching, growing, daring, courageously sometimes, let's be honest, what would they be? Setting state reminds me of my intention. Setting state reminds me how to act, where I'm coming from when I act, and why. Okay? What touchstones would you love to have in your space to help you remember that as you build what you're here to build it with a certain state as your foundation? If this makes sense to you and you love this idea, please let me know. And talk about your touchstones. Which state reminders, which prompts do you have in your space, in your office or in your workspace? Love to hear about it. If you think this would help someone else get grounded in that state place they need to be in as they move forward and test the boundaries for themselves, please share this particular webisode. There's lots of extra tips that we just can't cover all the time in the webisode. So if you want to make sure you catch everything, please be sure and subscribe. I think it's the buttons over there. As you go forward, touching into your touchstones, please remember these words from Max Lucado. You weren't an accident. You weren't mass-produced. You aren't an assembly line product. You were deliberately planned, specially gifted, and lovingly positioned on earth by the master artisan. Touchstones, state, foundation. I hope this webisode serves you, and I hope you share it with those that it could serve too. Until next time, this is Lisa Bowles, your Soul Mapper, signing off for Soul Map TV.